Hey, it's Tara with Reiki on the Run, and I want to do a video today about releasing the struggle. So if you guys are like me, and I know a lot of you are, for years and years and years, I struggled with everything. Everything was a struggle to me. People, relationships, work, raising kids, everything was a struggle to me. And I felt like the more I wanted to not struggle, the more I struggled. And it wasn't until I realized that I was the one hanging on to the struggle, causing more struggle, that I was able to stop struggling. And it really is a matter of releasing the struggle or the perceived struggle, because everything that we view is perceived. You get to decide how you feel about something and whether it's a negative or a positive. So I'll talk about a few ways we can stop struggling, and before that I'll talk about a few reasons it's not good to struggle. And some of this might seem obvious, and that's fine. But even when things are obvious, I think sometimes we don't realize it until it's laid in front of us. So the first reason it's not good is because it causes sickness. You know, even the normies, even the mainstream admits that stress causes most of disease. And so when I say things like emotional issues cause illness, this is exactly what I'm saying. Stress is an emotional issue, and it manifests in physical disease and illness, and it can also worsen if you have disease already. It can make that worse. So really important, you don't want to struggle and stress because it can make you sick, which just causes more struggle. You know, if you're already having a hard time and you add on some physical dis-ease, it's not going to make life any easier. And the second reason, you know, I talk about this all the time, is what you emit is what you get back. And if you are constantly putting out struggle, 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 you're going to get struggle, struggle, struggle back. You have to understand that you are just putting out energy. It's a vibrational universe, and whatever energy you're putting out, and it doesn't matter if you think that your struggle or your perception that you're struggling is justified or not. I understand things happen. I've had a lot of things that I didn't ask for, and they happened, and none of that matters. If you continue to hang on to that and hang on to things that happen to you, you're emitting that energy constantly, and that's what you're going to get back. And then the last reason it's not good to hang on to struggle is because it sucks. Even if you don't believe or understand fully or can't grasp the fact that we are putting out energy and those are the situations that we're getting back, even if you think that's nonsense or if you don't really get it, struggling sucks. It sucks completely. It is no fun, and you can control it. But I think of like, like if you have 5 hours left until you went to bed tonight, and you could spend it struggling, thinking about your struggling, worrying about your struggling, talking to other people about your struggling, sitting in that energy of struggle, just sitting in it. Or you could not sit in that struggle, and you could find other things to do, other things to think about, other better energy to sit in. Which would you want to do? Obviously, you don't want to struggle. So why would you choose to do so? And it is a choice. It's a choice. So we'll talk about 3 ways we can stop struggling, release struggle, let that shit go. And one of them is to distract yourself. I say this all the time. You get to choose what you think about. And if you're sitting at home thinking about work, you're choosing that. If you're sitting at home, your family's around you, you could be playing a board game, you could be watching funny dog videos, you could be doing anything, but you're sitting around worried about the bill that you can't pay, thinking of how your life is such a struggle. And there's no judgment. I spent most of my life thinking of how everybody did me wrong and how my life was so much harder than everybody else's and what a struggle it was. There is no judgment. We are all here. We all wake up at different times. We're all at different levels all the time. Nobody's better than anybody. I'm certainly not. This has been a gradual thing for me. It's just where we are. We just don't realize that we're the ones hanging on to the struggle. But you can choose not to think about those things. You can choose to stop telling that story. You can choose to stop getting on Facebook and bitching and moaning about the latest thing that happened to you. You can stop calling your mom and bitching about the latest thing that happened to you. You can stop complaining to your spouse about how much work sucks. You don't have to spend your time thinking about the struggle, which is going to be good because the less you're thinking about it, the less you're in that energy. Guess what? The less you're going to get back. The next thing is affirmations. I always say this, and the one I always use for this for struggle is it just is. It just is. That gets me out of any kind of struggle because you realize that everything is just the way it is. There's nothing that you can do about things. The only thing you are doing is deciding if something's bad and focusing on it. And everything is polarized like that, right? So you make that decision. Like with water, there's hot water and there's cold water. There's good and bad. And you decide what that is. There's some things that people think would be just fine and you think is horrendous. And understanding that you get to decide that and putting yourself kind of in the middle and just allowing something to be what it is. It just is. Not assigning something negative. I'm sorry, can you guys hear that banging? I think my neighbors are putting up 50 pictures or something. Not assigning the negativity to it. You can just say it just is. If I'm having a problem with work, it just is. That's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. It just is. You don't have to, woe is me, this sucks, what am I going to do? How am I going to? You don't have to go down that road. You don't have to assign negativity to things. You don't have to assign good or bad or any of that. It just is. It is what it is. Let it just be what it is. Holding on to that struggle, constantly thinking about it, constantly worrying about it. That's your choice. 110%. That is your choice to continue to hold on to those things. So I really want to encourage you, if you feel like you're struggling, time to let go. Just let go of it. Let it be. Let it be what it is. You stressing about it does nothing except keep it in your life. All right. So a good thing that you can do too is daydream about not struggling. Spend as much time as you can just thinking about life without struggle. What you'd be doing, fun you'd be having, who would be around, what your life would be. You understand that energy that you emit is what you bring back in, and you can get in that energy of feeling, I'm not struggling, then that's going to bring you, I'm not struggling. So, release it. If you are struggling, you are holding on to it. I promise you. Coming from someone who completely thought the world was against me and that no one else struggled as I did. You're hanging on to it. Things happen to all of us. That's what life is about. You deal with shit. You decide you don't like shit. And you figure out how to make it better. But If you get stuck in that my life is shit part and don't work towards making it better, that's on you. So let it go. Release it. You can even just imagine in your head, just releasing it. Release the struggle. You know how you do that exercise where you tighten up your whole body as tight as you can for like 30 seconds and then release it? And that's what it feels like. It just release it. All right. That's all I have. I hope this helps. I'll talk to you soon.